Okay. Good morning, everyone. Thank you for being here. Now that a quorum is present, we'll call the meeting to order. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Act was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of and to attend the meeting of public bodies at which any business affecting their interest is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, State Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published by having the date, time, and place thereof posted in the Department of Education, Secretary of State's office, and notice has been given to the State House press corps, the Governor's office, and the State Board agenda subscribers. And as a quorum is present, may I please have a motion? Thank you very much. Board Member Shahada, may I please have a second? Thank you, sir. All in favor of calling this meeting to order, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Thank you very much. Any opposition? No. Any abstentions? The motion is approved. Now we're going to, whereas we're going to go into executive session. So, whereas in order to protect the personal privacy and to avoid situations wherein the public interest might be disturbed, the Open Public Meetings Act permits public bodies, to exclude the public from a portion of the meeting which certain matters are discussed. So therefore, be it resolved that consistent with the provision of NJSA 10:4-12B, the State Board of Education will now adjourn to executive session to discuss personnel and legal matters. May I please have a motion? Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Board Member Bennett, may I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. Board Member Aponte, all in favor of adjourning the executive session, please say aye. Aye. Thank you. Any opposed? Any abstentions? The motion is approved, and we will be back, I would think, at 10 a.m. So thank you so much.
Remember that teacher who changed your life? You could be that teacher. New Jersey has some of the best public schools in the country with competitive salaries and valuable benefits. Be that teacher. Visit teachinspire.nj.gov. Remember that teacher who changed your life? You could be that teacher in New Jersey. You'll help shape the next generation alongside a dedicated community of educators. New Jersey has some of the best public schools in the country with competitive salaries, valuable benefits, and a solid pension plan. So be that teacher. Make an impact. Teach, Inspire, New Jersey. To learn more, visit teachinspire.nj.gov. If you're a teacher, you've had students tell you how much you mean to them. And for everyone who does, more feel that way but may not say it. Remember that teacher who changed your life? You're that teacher to a lot of people. Teach, inspire, New Jersey. If you're a teacher, you've probably had students tell you how much you mean to them. And for everyone who does, there are more who feel that way but may not say it. You can't know how many, but it's more than you think. Because you've done more than teach. You've inspired. Remember that teacher who changed your life? You're that teacher to a lot of people. Teach, inspire, New Jersey.
¿Recuerda a aquel maestro que le cambió la vida? Usted podría ser ese maestro en Nueva Jersey. Únase a la comunidad de educadores que ayudará a formar a la próxima generación. Nueva Jersey cuenta con algunas de las mejores escuelas públicas del país, con salarios competitivos, beneficios atractivos y un sólido plan de pensiones. Sea ese maestro. Deje huella. Enseñe, inspire. Nueva Jersey. Visite teachinspire.nj.gov.
Remember that teacher who changed your life? You could be that teacher. New Jersey has some of the best public schools in the country with competitive salaries and valuable benefits. Be that teacher. Visit teachinspire.nj.gov. Remember that teacher who changed your life? You could be that teacher in New Jersey. You'll help shape the next generation alongside a dedicated community of educators. New Jersey has some of the best public schools in the country with competitive salaries, valuable benefits, and a solid pension plan. So be that teacher. Make an impact. Teach, Inspire, New Jersey. To learn more, visit teachinspire.nj.gov. If you're a teacher, you've had students tell you how much you mean to them. And for everyone who does, more feel that way but may not say it. Remember that teacher who changed your life? You're that teacher to a lot of people. Teach, Inspire, New Jersey. If you're a teacher, you've probably had students tell you how much you mean to them. And for everyone who does, there are more who feel that way but may not say it. You can't know how many, but it's more than you think. Because you've done more than teach. You've inspired. Remember that teacher who changed your life? You're that teacher to a lot of people. Teach, inspire, New Jersey.
¿Recuerda a aquel maestro que le cambió la vida? Usted podría ser ese maestro en Nueva Jersey. Únase a la comunidad de educadores que ayudará a formar a la próxima generación. Nueva Jersey cuenta con algunas de las mejores escuelas públicas del país, con salarios competitivos, beneficios atractivos y un sólido plan de pensiones. Sea ese maestro. Deje huella. Enseñe, inspire. Nueva Jersey. Visite teachinspire.nj.gov.
Remember that teacher who changed your life? You could be that teacher. New Jersey has some of the best public schools in the country with competitive salaries and valuable benefits. Be that teacher. Visit teachinspire.nj.gov. Remember that teacher who changed your life? You could be that teacher in New Jersey. You'll help shape the next generation alongside a dedicated community of educators. New Jersey has some of the best public schools in the country with competitive salaries, valuable benefits, and a solid pension plan. So be that teacher. Make an impact. Teach, Inspire, New Jersey. To learn more, visit teachinspire.nj.gov.
All right. Good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Thank you. Thank you. So now we're going to resume to the public portion of our meeting. So whereas consistent with the provision of NJSA 10:4-12B, the State Board will now adjourn from executive session to resume the open session portion of our meeting. May I please have a motion?
So moved.
Thank you very much, Dr. Butcher. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All in favor of resuming to our public portion of the meeting, please say aye. Aye.
Aye.
Are there any? Thank you very much. Is there any opposition? Any opposed? Any abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Did we vote? Motion. Okay, we're good. All right, and so now I'd like to please ask for the Pledge of Allegiance to be started by Clapping.
Aye.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God,
indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you very much, Board Member Keenan. Appreciate it. So good morning. Thank you again for joining us today. I want to welcome all of you that are here in person and to Trenton. As the State Board meetings are accessible to the public for viewing on the YouTube channel, I would like to advise you that YouTube provides a readily accessible language translation for closed captioning. If you're viewing our simulcast currently, you can use the settings option in YouTube for the information regarding subtitles, automatic translations, and closed captioning in multiple languages. So, may I please ask for a motion to approve the minutes from our February meeting on the State Board of Ed? Thank you very much, Board Member Bennett. May I please have a second? Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All in favor of approving the minutes, please say aye. Thank
Aye.
you. Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions at this time? Hearing none, the motion is approved. Public testimony will not be held this month as there are no topics scheduled. However, public testimony will be held in April on the draft religious holidays calendar resolution and the proposed amendments to Chapter 9B. The State Board of Examiners and certification pertaining to the military science endorsement. State Board members who are scheduled to be here are Dr. Ned Johnson, Mr. Arcilio Aponte, Ms. Mary Bennett, and Mr. Jack Fernaro. If any of you, Ms. Board Member Claudine Keenan and I are alternates. If any of you are unable to sit for public testimony, we ask you to please reach out to one of the alternates and see if they're available to substitute. So this month, we are delighted again to have our junior from East Brunswick High School in Middlesex County give us her report. Her name is Kaylin DeRose, and we're very pleased to have you as always. And I would like to ask her advisor, Bonnie Bencard. Are you here? Thank you very much. She's amazing. Welcome, Kaylin. And whenever you're ready, we're very eager to hear your report. Thank you.
Yep, thank you, President Goldenberg. And it's great to be back, especially after not being here for a while. So yes, again, thank you and good morning, everyone. As I said during January's meeting, students, especially high schoolers, shockingly, don't always want to take tests. As many of you know, this past fall, the NJ Department of Education rolled out field testing for a new standardized exam. Students across the state took an early version of the full-length exam that they'll have to take the following spring, many starting in a couple of weeks. A unique aspect of the new exam is the fact that it's adaptive, like many nationwide standardized tests such as the SAT, PSAT, or ACT. What I found interesting was the fact that students weren't asked for their opinion on their test-taking experience afterwards, whether through forums or surveys. Today, I'm taking the time to discuss student experiences while taking the exam with the purpose of improving test-taking experiences in the future. In traditional adaptive standardized exams, each section of the test is split into two sections, often known as modules. The first section is considered a diagnostic test. Students who score highly on the first test will get more challenging questions, allowing for a higher potential score. Students who score lower will be given easier questions, and many adaptive tests such as the SAT, PSAT, or ACT limit how high students can score. Just to clarify, the NJGPA and NJSLA is under a different system of evaluations, where a diagnostic section isn't involved. This context, however, is crucial to student opinions and experiences while testing. According to the 2025 New Jersey SAT Suite of Assessments Annual Report from the College Board, 66% of 2025 graduates took the SAT, 79% of 11th graders, and 76% of 10th graders took the PSAT. New Jersey students are well familiar with adaptive testing, so many expect traditional features of adaptive or computer testing to still be present. After surveying juniors at East Brunswick High School, very few were aware of distinct features, such as the ability to bookmark a question and move on, or the ability to write notes on a virtual notepad. Students weren't audibly told about these tools, nor were written instructions present before beginning the exam on what options students had. I only discovered these tools after clicking around the software and investigating, technically sacrificing the time I had left. These features are present on many adaptive tests and were present on the NJSLA and NJGPA from prior. Another note is the design of bookmarking a question. When students bookmark a question, most software highlights the question as a red flag or other bright visual to contrast with the blue and white background. However, the field testing created a small gray triangle on a small box representing the question. As the question had a white background, this may be difficult for students to properly see, even if they aren't visually impaired. Furthermore, the field exam lacked important features. Notably, in the reading and writing exams, students didn't have the ability to highlight the passages they had to read and interpret. This is crucial for test takers on paper or computer tests. Highlighting allows students to identify important information on or keep tabs on quotes/evidence that they would like to revisit, especially when the text is multiple pages long. Students could only highlight the question on the exam, which was often redundant as it contained 1 to 2 sentences. These concerns aren't being brought up in retaliation to a new exam, in a new format for New Jersey students, rather to help improve an exam which may be present in all New Jersey schools for 10 years. To properly evaluate students and schools, a testing environment that supports them should be present. This includes the software and ergonomics of the test itself. Furthermore, it's vital that stakeholder opinions are present. Students may not be able to make public testimony when it's hosted, as it's often during school hours. Moreover, hearing from teachers about the experience on proctoring the exam is also important. There are many parts that go into standardized testing, which is why it's crucial to be diligent leading up to the exam going live. These testimonies from students are just another important part in developing educational software. Thank you.
Thank you very much. You've given us quite a bit to muse over and think about. It's tremendous. I don't know if any board members see. Okay.
Very definitely some extremely interesting comments. And the depth at which you went into certain aspects. There's going to be a lot of discussion regarding testing, I'm sure, over the course of the next several months. So I thank you very much for doing that.
Thank you, sir.
Just
Go ahead, Narcilia.
thank you very much for your comments. I'm just reading one sentence you have here. You stated, what I find interesting was the fact that students weren't asked for their opinion on their test taking experience afterwards. And certainly if they were, then we would address these technological issues that the students are discovering during the preliminary testing. So student input is certainly valuable and important for us to incorporate as we develop the test further. So thank you very much for bringing the student's voice to this experience. Really grateful for your comments.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Narcilia. Yes, Mary Bennett.
Good morning. Kaylin, thank you so very much for taking the time to survey the students that you had access to and for bringing this information forward. I also appreciate the comment that you made that teachers needed to know about the tools and the structure and how the test works best for students so that they who get the data back from the test are able to take that and incorporate ways to improve instruction and student performance. So what you brought to us today is something that's always critical when you roll out something new. It needs to be well thought out. It needs to have multiple voices, and it needs to always go back to the people who are experiencing it, primarily the students and the staff. So I am just over the hill with joy by your presentation this morning because it echoes concerns that we had begun to share with former Commissioner Damer, and now we brought some things to the attention of our new Commissioner Locks. And I'm sure going forward that issues that you raised today will be addressed, and where there are things that were omitted will be included, and that we will implement assessment in a way that's most meaningful for students, for the staff, and for the betterment of education in the state of New Jersey. Thank you.
Thank you very
Thank you.
much, Bennett.
Diane, we usually get copies of the student speech. There's none in the file. Can we get a copy of that, please?
There's in there. It's in the packet. At least I have it electronically. So.
Also, it's online.
Not in my packet. They come back.
Okay, and now I'd like to ask Commissioner if she would like that. Thank you.
I want to echo what many folks have said and just really thank you, Kaylin, for your thoughtful and very careful speaking to your students about that student perspective. I couldn't agree more. And I think this student feedback and student voice and things that impact you is incredibly important as we move forward. So I really look forward to continuing to get your perspective and other students around the state as we move forward on this and other initiatives. I also would love to take a moment based on your comments to share some additional pieces about the assessment. I know that this is something as our members shared, we will be speaking about more as we move forward, but we have put out some resources we want folks to be aware of and just again, talk about a couple pieces. Folks who have talked to me know I'm very passionate about assessment. And I think, again, Kaylin, you made an excellent point. Different assessments are for different purposes, and it's really, really important that we're clear on what that is, and we speak about them with that piece. And again, so much gratitude to you and other students for taking them. As you shared, adaptive tests are not new for New Jersey students. And so this concept, though, of an adaptive test that is aligned to the New Jersey state learning standards, and again, one that moves us into that moment of the present, is an exciting moment despite some of the challenges. You also shared some of your experience from the field test, and the field test is a crucial operational step to making sure that when we get to the operational test, we're able to resolve some of those issues. I don't want to pretend we've resolved all of them, but I will speak to a couple in just a moment. And so I would like to ask the team to navigate to our homepage just to show you a couple of things, both in terms of resources for students and in terms for educators and the board and the public to be aware of. So now when you go to the Department of Education homepage, there is a tile on the left that says adaptive assessments. And when you click on this tile, it brings you to a variety of new resources that I'm going to highlight. So first, as you can see here on this landing page, there's some overall information, and we're going to click on a couple of these as we go together. I won't click on, but I will call your attention to a new frequently asked questions page that has continued to grow and will continue to grow through the coming weeks and likely after the test with additional feedback as well. I also want to thank members of this board and members of the public who have brought questions forward. Like I mentioned, we're working to get more answers up on that page as we go. If you click over under the resources, there's a series of 5 one-pagers, and I apologize for my voice. I'm really not sick. My voice is not cooperating today, so excuse me. The first one here has a quick overview of just adaptive testing. Again, Kaylin did a wonderful job explaining this and how it works with other national assessments. And then in a moment, I'll speak to some presentations that have more detail about what does this look like for New Jersey. So these one-pagers are here to give general information about what is adaptive testing who want to know more. Back on the page, another opportunity for folks to learn is on our info sessions. So if you go down to that second box, the first flyer there is about info sessions. Currently not joining staff because they are, as we speak, giving a public session on and what it looks like. But if you scroll down, in addition to the live sessions this week, there are some virtual ones, including one in the evening tomorrow. Again, noting that timing piece. And we are planning to record these and get them posted. So if you're not able to attend, we'll make sure that those resources are out there. Again, these do not answer all of the questions and they do not get at the student perspective to that extent, but I just wanted people to be aware that they're here. And then the last thing I'd like to call your attention to is the link to the New Jersey assessment portal on this page. If you click on this link, this will take you to the general assessment portal, where when you click on students and families up at the top bar, you'll get access to some of the resources that have been put out, including practice tests. So on the practice test one, you'll have an opportunity to work in that testing environment. And we'll continue to look at this. I've been assured the highlighting issue is fixed, but I want to double test it. And so I know I'll continue talking about this. But you should be able to go down to online practice tests and be able to, again, look at these different pieces and get some opportunity to work with the interface ahead of the assessment timing. So again, I do not, I think everything you've shared, Kaylin, is really important. And these are just some additional resources that we've started to put together. We want to continue to do so. We want to continue to set up formal processes for getting student feedback. And then I just want to sort of conclude by mentioning, this test is about testing the New Jersey state learning standards that this board sets. I know it can often feel very different and be a lot of pressure for students. And back to this test for different purposes, for students, we really do want you to not stress and do your best. And no student will test, and that's why there are other pathways to graduation in the state of New Jersey. And so I just want to continue to reiterate that as well. And I do really look forward to engaging with this board and the public in more depth on assessments and how we can make sure that this system is serving our state as we get an understanding of how well we are teaching students these standards, what we need to do, and how we can support equity here in New Jersey. So thank you again, Kaylin. Thank you to board members and members of the public who've continued to raise questions about the assessment. And it will be an ongoing conversation between all of us.
Thank you very much. I'm so pleased that the questions are coming. Keep them coming, everyone, but also that we're getting feedback and it's exactly what we need. So thank you very much for helping us.
Yes, thank you, Commissioner, of course, and thank you, President Goldenberg, and to all the other board members who had comments and questions. And I'm also incredibly grateful for this opportunity to, of course, be that voice for students and to bring up these discussions. Thank you.
You're doing a wonderful job. So thank you for bringing them forward.
Thank you.
Okay. Now I'd like to go ahead and continue, if that's okay. So we have a resolution in recognition of the month of the military child in New Jersey. And today I would like the state board to please consider a ceremonial resolution in recognition of the month of the military child in New Jersey. Before I read the resolution, may I please have a motion to consider this resolution in recognition of the month of the military child in New Jersey? Thank you very, very much. May I please have a second? Thank you very much. Appreciate you. Okay, I will now read this and read the resolution into our record. Whereas the month of April 2026 has been designated nationally as the month of the military child by the Department of Defense to underscore the important role military children play in the armed forces community. And whereas the New Jersey State Board of Education and the Department of Education aim to ensure through the policies established that all students are challenged to maximize their potential and to excel academically, socially, emotionally, and physically for college, career, and throughout life. And whereas the Department of Education encourages school districts to provide support to our students and children of service members as they transition between schools to address their distinct needs and prepare them to graduate as well-rounded citizens. And whereas the physical, social, and emotional well-being of children in military families is essential to their success and their direct impact on the resilience of military families serving our country. And whereas these efforts and supports can improve the lives of military children and help pave the way for future generations. And whereas it is both fitting and proper that special recognition be given to ensuring military children feel safe and supported in our schools and our communities so that their parents can focus on the challenges and missions they face in the line of duty. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the New Jersey State Board of Education and the Commissioner of Education recognize April 2026 as the month of the military child in New Jersey. There's a motion on the floor. Is there any discussion at this time?
President Goldenberg,
Um,
I just want to
Yes.
thank the board. I just wanted to thank the board for recognizing the military child. I think it's so important, and their education and well-being should be foremost in all of our hearts and minds. So thank you for reading this resolution.
Thank you, Board Member Barry. I appreciate it. Thank you. Are there any other comments? All right, so there's a motion on the floor. We've had discussion. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
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 Any abstentions or any opposition? Hearing none, the motion is approved. So on behalf of the State Board of Education, I will be presenting this resolution during the month of the Military Child Proclamation signing event on April 1st, 2026 at the McGuire Air Force Base. Dr. Ambrose Duckett, Assistant Commissioner for the Division of Field Services and Support, will also be in attendance. Okay. Hearing nothing else, so we'll go on to the next bullet. We didn't have any State Board Committee meetings this month, so we have no committee reports to share because there were none in February. And also, we had school visits, which I was very grateful. This month, State Board members and I have had the opportunity to accompany Commissioner Locks on visits to schools across the state. I would like to offer my thanks for Commissioner Locks inviting and for the invitation to host school districts that we visited. I got to go to Tinton Falls, Red Bank, and Newark, and we were warmly welcomed into the schools to observe wonderful opportunities that the children and the students are provided. So thank you for that. It was really good, and I loved it. So thank you. And I believe you also went on a trip
Yeah, I did.
in Newark. Thank you.
Yeah, we certainly had a wonderful day in Newark, visiting many schools, some of the early childhood education programs within the district. So outstanding work that's going on across this district. And it was just great to be in school, seeing firsthand the great work that our community, our teachers, our district is advancing within the public school systems.
I'll tell you, if you're having a bad day, the best thing you can do, and I'll quote you even, is going into a school. I think your favorite was kindergarten, preschool. But I was very excited about the high school and all the things they're learning and doing. It's all great, but it was wonderful. So thank you. Thank you. Okay, and now we'll transition and go to commissioners' reports.
Thank you. Well, I just again will offer thanks. I know, as I mentioned to some board members, if they have not been on a school visit, they will be getting an invite and joining me soon. But incredibly grateful to our school districts, and there's some really exceptional things happening throughout the state, which we continue to be excited to highlight. So with that, today I request that the state board consider a ceremonial resolution recognizing March as Gifted and Talented Students Month in New Jersey. This reflects the state's longstanding commitment to meeting the needs of all learners, including those whose advanced abilities require specialized support, enriched programming, and thoughtful, equitable identification. In 2020, the Strengthening Gifted and Talented Education Act established clear expectations for how school districts should support gifted and twice exceptional learners, reaffirming the state's commitment to providing educational opportunities that reflect students' advanced abilities. The law, along with the ongoing work of the Strengthening Gifted and Talented Education Advisory Committee, has helped ensure that policies, identification practices, and instructional approaches reflect the diversity of New Jersey students and expand access to advanced learning opportunities across all districts. New Jersey's gifted and twice exceptional students bring curiosity, creativity, and a remarkable capacity for innovation to classrooms. When we nurture their talents, we not only elevate individual potential, but we also strengthen the future of our communities, our workforce, and our state. By recognizing March as the Gifted and Talented Education Month, we celebrate the achievements of students, highlight the importance of rigorous and responsive programming, and elevate the collective work underway to ensure that every learner is seen, challenged, and supported. President Goldenberg, I turn the meeting back to you for discussion and to address the procedural components.
Thank you very much, Commissioner Lux. Okay, may I please have a motion before we read the resolution? Thank you. And a second? Thank you very much. Would like to ask, we've gotten that. I would like to now ask State Board Member Jeanette Pena if she would be so kind as to read the resolution in recognition of the Gifted and Talented Students Month in New Jersey.
Thank you, President Goldenberg. It would be my pleasure.
Thank you.
Whereas the Strengthening Gifted and Talented Education Act was signed into law on January 13, 2020, and whereas shortly thereafter, the New Jersey Department of Education established the Strengthening Gifted and Talented Education Advisory Committee, consisting of 5 subcommittees to address law implementation, identification programming, the intersectionality of cognitive and affective needs, and professional development to best identify and serve the needs of gifted students. And whereas the New Jersey Department of Education collaborates with the Advisory Committee, various New Jersey education organizations, and gifted and talented education experts from across the country to provide technical assistance to educators on how to best support gifted and twice exceptional students. And whereas it is the work of these collaborative efforts that will support statewide and local education agencies' efforts in meeting the needs of gifted and twice exceptional students, so they are provided the opportunity to fulfill their academic potential. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the New Jersey Commissioner of Education recognizes the month of March as Gifted and Talented Students Month in New Jersey and honors the gifted and talented students of New Jersey, as well as their parents, teachers, and school leaders who are working to ensure that our students have the resources and opportunities they need to succeed.
Thank you very much. There is a motion and a second on our floor already. Is there any discussion at this time? All right. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Thank
Aye.
you. Any opposed, please say no or nay. Any abstentions? Hearing none, the motion is approved. And I would like to please ask Ms. Elaine Chesborough, President of the New Jersey Association for Gifted and Talented Children and co-chair of the Identification Subcommittee of the Strengthening Gifted and Talented Education Advisory Committee. You're here today to accept this resolution, say a few words, and pose for a picture afterwards. So I guess also in the audience is Dr. Lenore Cortina, who is the trustee of NJAGC. You're in the audience, so if you'd like to go up also. Thank you so much. Please, and you'll have to turn the microphone on by pulling, there's a little switch at the top, and once it turns green, perfect.
Have it. Thank you. Thank you for recognizing Gifted Students Month. On behalf of the New Jersey Association for Gifted Children, I want to say how much we appreciate the leadership this board has given and shown for our partnership with, also in conjunction with Crystal Signori and the Department of Ed. Since we passed the 2020 Gifted Ed law, we've seen a lot of progress. More training and guidance for districts, clearer expectations, and a stronger focus on equitable identification and services for advanced learners. At the heart of all of this is our kids. So the purpose of this work is to make sure that our students with advanced learning needs are seen, understood, and given the opportunity to grow. The law gave us an important foundation. What matters now is continuing to implement it thoughtfully and consistently so that it truly makes a difference in classrooms across the state. We know that talent exists in every community and across every demographic. Ensuring that gifted ed is accessible, equitable, and consistently implemented means more students will be recognized and supported in ways that help them thrive. NJAGC remains fully committed to working alongside you and the department to strengthen policy, support districts, and expand opportunities, always keeping the students at the center of the work. Thank you for your continued leadership and your commitment to New Jersey's learners.
Thank you.
Question? While they're coming up.
No, I just wanted to reach out and thank Crystal Cinieri at the Department of Ed and share with you some of the great work that's coming out of there. Her leadership on the advisory committee has produced resources for our districts to provide equitable identification and services for gifted students. The Learning Lounge workshops that she facilitates have reached many number of districts that otherwise would not have been reached. And she is raising New Jersey's profile across the nation with her membership on the team for the National Research Center for Advanced Education. She participates on that team, and it's going to bring a great identification toolkit resource to New Jersey. She's helping to develop it, and she's bringing it here. So we really just want to thank the Department of Education, the Board of Education, for your continued support of gifted education. Thank you.
While they're coming up, there used to be a program called the Olympics of the Mind. Is that still active?
Odyssey of the Mind, yes.
Odyssey of the Mind,
Mostly parents.
still a national program?
Yes, a lot of districts are.
And I would assume you're involved in that in some way?
It's local, right? So the state doesn't necessarily run programs like that or state organization, but districts do.
Thank you.
We're involved, guessing.
Back in the Neanderthal days, when I worked down at the Educational Improvement Center, they actually had a very active program related to that. And one of the years, my next door neighbor's child won the national competition. So I was really impressed with the program.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I don't know. I'm getting there.
Thank you very much.
And we're.
Yes. All right. All right. Good morning again. So today I present one candidate for appointment, Ms. Laura Console, Assistant Commissioner to the Division of Legal and External Services. I'll just briefly, Laura has been at the department before, and we're very grateful for her service. President Goldberg, I'll return it back to you for the procedural piece, but I'll ask Laura to stand and be recognized.
Thank you. Wait, we didn't vote yet. Okay. All right, so may I please have a motion to consider the appointment of Laura Console as Assistant Commissioner for the Division of Legal and External Services. Thank
So moved.
you. May I please have a second?
Second.
Thank you. All right, all those in favor of the appointment of Laura Console at the Division of Legal and External Services, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Aye. Thank you. Any opposed, signify by saying nay. Are there any abstentions? The motion motion carries. Thank you so much. Congratulations. Thank you.
It's not people, it's fast discussion.
All right, thank you. So next, since the October 2025 State Board meeting, the Executive County Superintendents have finalized 37 NJ-CUSAC interim reviews for school districts implementing district improvement plans in one or more of the 5 areas of district effectiveness, and 2 full reviews of school districts reviewed every 3 years in accordance with NJAC 6A30. I am recommending 5 of the school districts for certification. Ambrose Duckett, Assistant Commissioner, and Robert Gregory, Executive Director for the Division of Field Support and Services, are here to share the list of districts and respond to your questions.
Thank you, Commissioner, and congratulations on your first official meeting. One of the things you're going to get to know about me is I tell a little story before I present CUSAC. So it's been a little while since we presented CUSAC scores, which gave me the opportunity to come up with a pretty decent story that ties into the Gifted and Talented program. And I want to explain to the board and to those that are watching my experience with Gifted and Talented. This past week, my son, and I'm very proud of him, Ambrose, he's in Atlantic City for DECA presentation, but he got awarded at Princeton for the Princeton Race Relations Award for his work in making and changing the culture of his high school. So at this ceremony, he got up and he gave a speech, and as a father, I was very proud of him. And after, we got a chance to meet a lot of the graduates from Princeton. One in particular sought me out and she said, "Duckett, is your last name?" I said, "Yes." She said, "I was a teacher in Willingboro where I graduated from school." And she said, "I remember the name." And I said, "I'm sure you do. I stood out as a student." And she said, "Oh, no, I don't remember you." She said, "I was a gifted and talented teacher. I remember your sister Joy. Please send her my regards. But congratulations to you and your son." So I was proud and humbled at the same time. We are at the point where we are finally finished our interim reviews, and we have 5 districts for certification. And Commissioner, Board President Goldenberg, if you would allow me, I'm going to read those 5 districts. 3 from Gloucester, Winona Borough School District, Elk Township School District, Pittman Borough School District, 1 from Somerset, South Bound Brook Public School District, and 1 from Union, Mountainside School District. Those are the 5 interim districts for certification. The remaining schools were not certified, which is very difficult under the district improvement plan. But so they will have to conduct another interim review in 6 months. So I present those 5 for your approval for certification.
Thank you. Appreciate it. So I don't know if we could. Hold on one
President
second.
Goldenberg,
Thank
I
you.
just wanted to make one question so that it was public. How many schools were uncertified in that group?
There was 32.
Okay,
Okay.
I
Yes.
thought 30, 34, 32, okay. 34. 34 uncertified. I do think it's important for the public to recognize, I'm so happy that 5 have been certified. 34 seems like a rather large number of schools that have not met the standard. We have a new commissioner, and I'm looking forward to us never having a list that has that many schools that are uncertified and those that, you know, such a small group that achieved proficiency.
Right. I'm going to let Executive Director Gregory address you.
But before he does, may I apologize. I just want to make one very quick annotation here to piggyback to what Mary Beth was saying. 21 of those districts are within 5 points. And, you know, I'm always looking at that. So I think it's important. We're not stating the complete question here without adding 21 districts are within 5 points, which I don't recall ever seeing that before. So go ahead.
Very close. But before you do, before we continue with this discussion, which we didn't rightly get to yet. So could I have a motion, please, regarding the 5 districts at this time? Thank you. A second, Mary Bennett. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Now, can we have any discussion? Thank you.
Sure. If I may offer to the board, and it appears my mic's not working. You can use that. Okay, if I may offer to the board, and as board member Pena stated, we've seen a tremendous amount of growth throughout the state of New Jersey. The interim reviews that we have presented to you this morning, the data that was used to conduct the interims did not reflect last year's assessments. We now have new assessment data, and next month you will see a shift in the number of districts that are certified as a result of their continuous growth, and also some very bold decisions this board made to align our evaluation of school districts more to our other accountability systems, placing more emphasis on growth, which fosters continuous improvements for district boards of education and chief school administrators throughout the state. So we do anticipate a change beginning in the month of April. And thank you for your continued support.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments at this time? I believe Mary Bennett's next, and then Marcelia.
What we're looking at is where the districts continue to need to work to get to the minimum cutoff in IMP. So as you said,
Which is instruction and program for those.
when you get to the 2025 scores and look at it, because as Board Member Pinion said, she saw 21 schools that were within 5 points, and I see 25 schools total that are within 10 points. So when you look at the new scores from 2025, hopefully the needle moves. And as Board Member Barry speaks to, we don't have that number of schools and districts that did not meet the cutoff. So I'm glad that you made the point that this data that you used for this list did not reflect last year. So it will be interesting to see when it comes back to us next month, where we may have some districts that moved off of the uncertified and onto the certified.
Exactly right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Just a question,
Sure.
just
Yeah.
based on your experiences, I mean, so I believe, CUSAC, we've been looking at, or following the same sort of review process, I guess roughly 10, 15 years now, I forget how long. In any case, based on your experiences, I mean, is the parameters or the thresholds that you review under each of these categories, whether it's INP or fiscal management, some of the others, is it fit for purpose now? I mean, does it continue to provide you with a strong tool to evaluate, or do we need to revisit the original construct of CUSAC?
Having managed the office for the past 3 years, we saw a tremendous amount of opportunity during the regulatory process to update the chapter to ensure that CUSAC is doing exactly what it's supposed to do, which is to ensure all school districts are offering students a thorough and efficient education. So I do think it is updated appropriately and providing us a nice proxy as to what districts are truly in need of improvement.
Thank you. Any other questions or comments for those online? Hearing none, okay. So we have a motion and we have a second. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed, please signify by saying nay. Are there any abstentions at this time?
Yes. For public record purposes, I lived in Pittman for 35 years, still didn't show up in many public records with my address being there, and still own a few properties there. So I am abstaining for the record.
Thank you. The motion carries. Thank you. And now we'll go ahead, please, with item C.
All right, thank you. Assistant Commissioner Duckett can stay seated.
Thank you. Thank
so-
you.
In accordance with state statute and regulation, today I present for discussion the list of religious holidays permitting student absence from school for the 2026-2027 school year. As in the past, a disclaimer is included within the resolution to address that some dates may vary due to differences in the lunar, Gregorian, and Julian calendars. When adopted, the list of religious holidays will be distributed to school districts, charter schools, and Renaissance school projects and posted on the department's website. Ambrose Duckett III, Assistant Commissioner. Oh, actually, and Robert Gregory, maybe, are you saying as well? Okay, great. Okay, great. Over to you, Ambrose. Thank you. We'll
Thank you.
provide an overview and respond to questions.
Yes, so just as a reminder, the list of religious holidays requires school districts to excuse students for religious observance upon written request of the parent or guardian. The list of religious holidays is a resolution annually adopted by you, the State Board of Education. And to date, we have added no additional holidays to the 26-27 calendar. And with that, I will turn it back over to you, and if you want to.
Thank you.
Questions.
Thank you very much. So I looked at the list extensively and there's so many holidays listed, but it's up to, the parents to let the school know when their students are abiding by that.
That's correct.
So not all holidays, it looks extensive, but not all holidays are days out of school, just so the public knows that.
That's right.
So I don't know if there's any discussion at this point.
I just have a question. Just curious about how this shows up on student attendance records,
Just as an excused absence.
just as an
Excused absence, yes.
Okay.
And I do want to highlight the diversity of the state just by looking at the holidays. We're a very inclusive state, and I'm proud to be a resident of New Jersey and the fact that we celebrate all students, regardless of their religion or their practices. So that is something I want to highlight and do not want to overlook.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well said. Okay, so we don't vote on it at this time, but it's there. And if the public wants to talk to, send information in about perhaps other holidays that may be omitted by mistake or anything, please do so. And we will not vote on this until May. So you have time. Thank you. Okay, there's not a work session because we don't have one scheduled. We do have a couple of committee meetings that we'll have hopefully this next month, and we'll bring information forward after that. Is there any new business by the state board they'd like to bring up? Yes,
I
sir.
have one thing since we're here.
Yes.
We're remiss if we don't point it out. Congratulations to Commissioner Locks on her unanimous appointment earlier this month or late last month. We're excited to have you and congratulations. That was really, really quick.
Thank you. Yeah, we're looking forward to it very much. We welcome you. So, okay, may I please have a motion to adjourn? Thank you. May I please have a second? Thank you. All those, is there anyone wants to add anything? Hearing nothing. All those in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Thank you. Any opposed, please say nay. Any abstentions? And the motion carries, and your first meeting is over.
Thank you
Thank
all.
you.
Thank you.